Greetings, everybody, and welcome to episode 13 of the Sickcast, aka the Siblings in Cardboard podcast. I'm your host, Noah, joined by my buddies / co-host, Donnie and Thomas. Whether you're a veteran card gamer or a first timer just testing the waters, we're all siblings in cardboard. Guys, how have things been since the last time we talked? And what about that FI?
Well, Worlds was great.
Yeah. Worlds was insane. Absolute information avalanche, man.
Yuki is such a beast of a player.
Yuki Bender is a goat.
I feel very validated because she just slammed through the limited portion both times on Dash Database, and I've just been saying this entire time that the way you go 3-0 is knowing how to utilize these heroes that can go really tall or wide and just bump over these mediocre Teklevosen decks.
Oh yeah, I mean if you've got 6 Teklevosens, 1 Max, and 1 Dash, then the Dash and the Max are going to be that much better because they have better cards, right?
And I think both times Yuki was in set with 2 dashes. I know the first one she was for sure.
Teklo's that safe pick, you know what I mean? For me, if I'm gonna play a blocky, fatiguey style, I pick Teklo. It feels comfortable. The cards kind of work for themselves, but Dash and Max feel like you have to really have the game plan down. And Dash more so than Max. I feel like Max can totally 3-0.
I think at a higher level, you're just saying I'm gonna lose to the people who get the overpower cards.
Yeah, and pitch stack and play it well. The whole shebang ring.
But yeah.
How much more do we have to worry about high level Bright Lights Limited though?
So
Skirmish season, we got 2 more weeks.
I think,
and then that's just sealed, right?
That would be if you're going to other events and playing the side events and running into people really playing. But I think you're right. I think Bright Lights as a season is almost finished now. Calling Queenstown might have stuff because it's technically still an Evo season, even though they are doing a premiere of heavy hitters.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what all the formats, because you never know what the battle harden will be at that calling, right? Because every calling has a battle harden.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've announced what it is. But
we'll see.
Yeah, also Skirmish the first Skirmish was this weekend as well. Noah bailed on me.
I was bailing.
And then I went and won a mat for him. So he's got,
thank you.
Yeah, you've got your,
I gotta get it though.
your nice Dory mat. So I'll hand that off to you. I'm gonna try to win another one.
My Skirmish experience was nothing special, and at the same time probably kind of weird because I faced a chain in round 1, then I lost to that chain, then I beat a chain in round 2, then I lost to Thomas on chain in round 3, and then I lost to another chain in round 4. So chain, and then we had an all-chain finals, right?
No, there was this Kano.
Oh, right. There was a Kano in the top 4 with the 3 chains.
Yep. I beat the Kano in Swiss and beat him again in the top 4. And I played Chain in round 1 and killed him with an invert existence, and I beat Chain in round 4 and killed him with an invert existence. And then I lost my finals to an Art of Ward top decked inverted existence. He literally, it was Austin Mender, and he said, am I a good chain player? And I went ahead and just reached out my hand because I thought he was pulling my chain and he already had the inverted existence hand. I just reached my hand to shake his hand. He's like, no, I don't have it. He's like, but I do have Art of War. And then he played it, and he just flips his hand. He's like, I got it. And I'm like, no. And it technically wasn't that outlandish. He only had 1 in the deck versus me. It wasn't that outlandish that he would draw it, because at that point he probably had 10 cards he hadn't seen in his deck. So about a 1 in 5 chance of seeing it with an Art of War.
He's also a heck of a player.
I still had to not try really hard to not be upset that I lost to an Art of War to draw an invert existence. To die, I had 2 health. I could have maybe even blocked with my creepers at some point and been at 3 and might have been able to kill him.
Art of War, really good card.
Live by the chain, die by the chain. Apparently.
All chain final with a Kano, and I missed that. Wow, man, it's.
Oh, I think you would have been pretty miserable. No, you're maybe okay to skip.
That's what I was saying. Like, I would have been playing Benji or Arachne if I was playing for fun, or I would have showed up and miserably played Dorian Blitz and like just played it for the sake of it. So I wasn't.
I played
again,
Uzuri. I had a great time playing, but it got kind of old getting stomped by chain.
And you
so
got
many
like
times.
all
But,
different flavors of chain. I think you had traditional chain, and then you had like rune gate chain, and you had different flavors in between there. I saw. You got the full chain experience.
I learned more about chain losing in those 4 rounds than I previously knew.
Yeah. And I'm sad. I'm pretty sure this is my only weekend I'm going to get to play him. I enjoyed him quite a bit. But
We'll see.
weirdly
We
enough,
haven't
the
got
Living
an update yet.
Legend leaderboard has not been updated yet. So who knows?
Yeah, it's 8:20 on Monday evening here in Eastern Standard Time. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll happen while we're recording, but I doubt it.
It does feel kind of weird though. They did say Monday, right? They very well specified that. Maybe is it like end of day Monday?
Fi has his Living Legend points.
Yeah, it would. I would assume it would have been like start of business day Monday. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they just
weren't ready yet. I mean, that's possible.
Maybe they're
They put this in
backstepping
place,
without
maybe.
saying it and saying, yeah, it's really dumb to ban a hero right in the middle of Skirmish.
Nah, they thought about that decision before they made
He's
that
at
announcement.
400 points. That's not even close in terms of Skirmish. That's
I mean, that's 25 wins.
80% of the points you need. I understand. Like, you can never make everyone happy, right? If someone's at like, where do you draw the line? If someone's at 990 points and picks up their like last 3 wins they need, do you ban them immediately then? Or if a hero goes on an absolute tear and picks up 125 points in a single weekend and goes from the 300s all the way to Living Legend, do you ban them?
Well, that's why they increase the points, is so that can happen more quickly. I mean, that kind of pace, that's kind of what they're looking for. I mean, if a hero is that good where they're winning that many events, they want them out of the format anyway.
Yeah, I don't mind Shane being out of the format, but I do want to play him more. He is quite fun.
They're also, I mean, they're making new heroes and stuff, and like with the new cards, I mean, we'll talk about it with some of the spoilers. Some of these like D-reactish type cards being sort of downgraded to block cards. They're really trying to manage how many more, I think, crazy cards they put in the game. So there's not just 86 copies of Sink Below in everybody's deck.
I didn't mind Sink Below a Chain. Chain doesn't care.
Well, just for the state of the game.
I don't think I've ever played any other deck that could block with the entire hand and then go 18, like block 12, present 18, like that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
The hero's design is insane.
No. Chain already had a pretty good design. The design of Rune Gate is like on this weird cusp of being the most OP crap ever. Like being able to play 6 attacks for 6 that have on hit effects for free is always riding this line of being really strong.
Most Runeblade cards, and I even say Viscerai, like they kind of keep giving stuff to them, and Vincent. But if you give too much to them, like they're just gonna steamroll things. Like Vincent has some really nice turns. I'm not gonna say she's like some crazy power.
I'm probably gonna play some
Vincent
Vincent once Chain's gone. I don't know if I'll take that to a Skirmish, but if we have like Blitz days like at Armories, I'll probably bring Vincent. I really enjoyed the Rune Blade. I hated it at first, but that was because like my initial experiences playing against Viscerai, I always felt so miserable. But Shadow Rune Blade just so much fun.
Well, Vincent is not changed, so keep that in mind. But we're ready to move on to the market minute.
Yeah, let's do the market minute and then jump back into all the stuff we learned at Worlds this weekend.
All right, I won't take too long. Everybody saw Kasai got revealed, right? Real crazy. I know it's huge. Because Kasai got revealed, Spoils of War literally they just tripled. A normal
Foils, right? The one that gives you. So that's
Oh, I thought you said foil.
So
Spoils of War is your next weapon attack this turn, gains +2 and go again. Whenever a weapon you control hits this turn, create 2 copper, go again.
Oh yeah, that's the one that could just net you 6 copper right off the bat.
And so we're looking at $8 is what you could have gotten your near mint unlimited editions. Unlimited near mint, no foil. They're now $18.
Wait,
what?
One Spoils of War?
One Spoils of War, non-foil is $18. Yep, I know, it's crazy. Welcome to how price spikes work.
That's crazy. So do people realize that she's a gold focused character and not a copper focused character? Are they like missing?
No, she's still going to run spoils, and they're still talking about the one-handed thing with Outland Skirmish. So there's still this thing, and Blood on the Hands, which is another card we're going to talk about, also went up through the roof. So
are you
people are
sure?
hedging their bets.
Which is weird because the new Kasai doesn't care about copper. She wants gold. So these people that are, facilitating these price spikes.
She want gold?
Maybe
Yes,
she wants
her-
both.
the
No,
new-
no,
the
she
new
totally
Kasai?
wants gold. Have you seen how the Centauri sellsword and the fact that
Yes.
she makes gold with her hero ability?
Yes, but she's going to make gold with her hero ability. And she's going to get gold from winning wagers. She's going to get gold
Right,
randomly from just having things.
The thing I want to point out, though, is the reason Kasai is so consistent is because just on board statically, she makes copper, and she could use that to feel blood on her hands when she gets it. If you're trying to
still
build
gonna
your
make
deck
copper.
off of still using blood on her hands, but your spoils of war have to hit, or like, that's it, right? If you're not running your
Spoils of
hero, how else do you
War,
get copper?
Outland Skirmish.
I don't know if her.
You got like two
Uh,
cards. It doesn't
specializations
sound like
only-
it'll be consistent. You could just draw
Here's-
all your blood on the hands and at first and have to pitch them, and then draw your copper generators, and then
We also don't know if there's some weird currency exchange
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
where-
and you never know.
That's
We
what I'm
could
saying.
Kasai could just like be like, I want copper, I want silver, I want gold.
We
Hand
don't
me a
know if there's
diamond
gonna
every once in a
be
while.
Some kind of like
Yeah,
card
really.
that's called like currency exchange or trade up or whatever. We don't know. So
Trade
I think
in,
people
trade
are
up.
covering all their bases and trying to make sure. But yeah, it's through the roof. My one foil first edition I know I have that I pulled from Crew is the cheapest foil first edition you can get Spoils of War right now is a lightly played at 23, then it jumps to 60 and 150. That's it. It's all it's on it's all it's on TCG Player. I'm telling you, people are buying them up like hotcakes.
So one thing to kind of remember is that I don't think LSS has like printed a hero that completely invalidated the previous version of that hero. It was always just like a dramatically different play style, right?
Starvo jumps to mind.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Well, I
I'm
mean,
talking about young heroes because we're thinking about young heroes here because Kasai, we can't compare young Kasai to like adult Kasai. So like Dash and Dash database are very different, and Arachne and Arachne Solitary Confinement are very, very different.
Right.
I think
right.
the only other example that we've had so far of a young hero being upgraded to an adult is Icelander, and Icelander's got the same text box. So
I mean, I assume
Wait,
they
did
wanted to keep
Icelander
copper-
start young only and then get turned into an adult?
I think so.
He wasn't-
If I'm not mistaken, I think she came out in Everfest as a young hero first, and
Ah.
then was released as the full adult version in Uprising. But I may be confused on that because that was before my time.
It's before my time too,
Yeah.
so I would have
Can't comment.
no way of commenting on that.
Right.
But I do like that the young Kasai is still technically there for Blitz specifically. So
Well,
yeah.
she's not technically gone or whatever. We don't know. We don't know how the cards are going to speak to each other. But that card did go up. No surprise, cash-in went up. Because
Yeah.
there's just gold out the wazoo in this set,
Yeah.
so there should be no surprise. In fact, I think it will continue to go up. It's one of those cards where I don't think people fully realize what they're going to do with cash in. But with all this wagering and stuff, it feels like, I just throw in my cash in. I get a gold coin off of wagering or clash. There is so much generation of gold, and it probably will be
Well,
a
no,
lot more.
there is not so much generation. There's
There will
Kasai's
be.
hero power and starting stake.
There's
So
wagers.
that's
There's
speculation.
There's straight up wager cards that just say, "Hey, I'd like to wager," and if you win that wager, you get a gold.
Where? Hold on, I'm looking.
The +3 spoils card, the one that put the money where your mouth
money
is.
where your mouth is does wager a gold token.
Right. And wager
Cash in
doesn't
that.
Oh,
mean you
dude,
wager
I
a
don't know
token.
about this card. It's a
it
one.
means
It's a one cost do nothing that can give your opponent a gold. No, I'll pass. And it blocks too. Like,
It's a one card you're
Hold on,
next.
hold on.
But
Let me
that's
read
the
this.
only
One-
one
it's-
that's been spoiled
it's
for now.
it's a one cost called money where your mouth is. Your next attack gets +3, and when this attacks a hero, you may wager a gold token with them. When the chain link resolves, if the attack hits, create a gold token. Otherwise, they create one. Go again. 2 block.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. What's the next card?
Right. We'll
You got
talk
cash
about it.
in. I think that's.
What is cash in at? I never.
Oh,
actually
yeah,
heard
yeah,
this
yeah.
card number.
So cash in right now for unlimited normals, non-foils, we're talking $8. If you want some unlimited rainbow foils, you're looking at $15.
cash in.
$8. This is a rare, by the way, from Crucible of War. I want you to understand, this isn't a majestic. This is a rare. Okay. Now, Crucible is a very hard set to get. This is part of my problem with the whole Sinks being in there. Like some of the cards just get so harder to get because the sets are gone. The unlimiteds are out of print.
They're in history pack as well.
Yep. Is Cashin in history set?
Yeah, Crucible's in history pack.
And then you're good there for the white borders. But Cashin definitely went up, and I still think it has a chance to go up higher when more cards of this wager get spoiled. So I'd look into that. And then Valiant Dynamo is the next one. Should be no surprise. Obviously, Kasai got announced, and that's literally her. It's one of the bread and butter things. Plus, it's a warrior set. So, and it's also Skirmish season. You throw all those things together. I told you guys about this a long time ago. Remember when I said they're going down? Get your Valiant Dynamos before Skirmish season comes, right? I told you this.
Called it.
I called it, okay? They are now $120, minus the two that just got put up. A moderately played one at 75, and then there's one at 100. They jump right back to 120, which is what they've been selling at. They got bought out so fast, mind you, so fast, and now people are still buying them like hotcakes. And my cold foil went up, so I am super excited about that. I'm pumped about it.
Valiant Dynamo is only going to be good in dual wielding archetypes, right? So
Kasai
that's like basically that's Kasai.
Whoa, Dory plays it all the time against
what do you mean Centauri Sellsword?
Oh, sorry. Well, I meant because she just has the Centauri sabers. It's hard for me to break that.
You know, actually, Centauri Sellsword doesn't synergize terribly well with the dual wielding aspect because well, no, I guess it does because it has Go Again. So you could swing with one with Go Again, swing with the Centauri Sellsword, and then swing with another Centauri Saber. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, she's definitely two swinging. We just don't know if there's new weapons coming out. We have the Centauri. I didn't put them on the list, but the cold foils, the Centauri Sabers. If you're actually like trying to, you got to get them now. Like they're already $200 a piece for the cold foil Centauris. Like you will not get them cheaper.
Yeah, they are 200. Wow.
I'm telling you, like I checked it. Those things were not that high at all. There's been one on eBay floating around at a 9.5. It has never sold at $140. Okay. Go snipe at somebody because I haven't sniped it yet. But it's still up there at $140 and 9.5. It's a beautiful graded card.
It may not be there by the time this is published.
It may not be there by the time you're published,
but it is being reprinted in heavy hitters. So that is going to be the focus of the Kasai archetype is still going to be using her sabers. And that makes sense because it's kind of like a cultural thing. Their Centauri sabers are part of their culture.
Yeah, and it's her hero art, so I mean, it's their signature weapon.
I'm pretty sure they're going to keep that. I wouldn't say they give her new weapons unless something crazy happens. I don't know.
What happens if Kasai gets banned? Like she hits Living Legend in Blitz.
I just thought about that. No. What happens when the adult Kasai hits Living Legend? What happens to Bolton in the Lumina combo?
Well, no.
This will come
up faster.
Centauri Sabers.
No. If young Kasai, the current young Kasai, if she hits Living Legend, what happens to the new young Kasai? It looks like that they're like even the Centauri Sabers are there in her art. Like
no, but I don't think that's. Oh man, I don't know. Like, have they actually come out and said that the Centauris are her weapon?
I mean, it's got a heavy hitters. It's got a heavy hitters number already, and it's in both the arts.
I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out. The last card, obviously, we talked about it a little bit. It's Blood on Her Hands. It's an amazing card. There should be no surprise. The graph looks like your stock market dream. It's just riding along, and then it's just a tidal wave. It just waves on up. So your Blood on the Hands, like if you
Blood on Her Hands. Yeah.
Blood on Her Hands. My bad. If you were to have gotten them a little bit ago, right? You would have been paying like maybe $4 sometimes or something. Near first edition normal back at the 16th, $4. First edition normal, $4. You know what they are now? $11. $11 on speculation, and that's for the normals. The rainbow foils get a little pricier. A lot of Everfest cards actually got bumped up in value. It's really strange. Swing Big bumped up in value. Blood on Her Hands bumped up. Everfest got some value bump. It's really weird.
I'm gonna like put in this extreme amount of doubt that the copper stuff is going to be very playable in New Kasai.
Unless they've got some weird currency exchange thing going on, I kind of agree. I don't know if they want to like take the other Kasai and say, well, I do copper too. You know what I mean? It would kind of conflict. If she wants gold, she wants copper. That kind of feels good. I don't know. I covered my bases nonetheless, though.
So yeah, Kasai was like one of the first things that we got to see spoiled for the Worlds weekend this weekend. And she's gold focused instead of copper focused. She's got a new specialization called Raise an Army. As an additional cost to play this, destroy X gold you control, create X Centauri Sellsword tokens. And a Centauri Sellsword is a little dude with 3 attack and 2 health that has cost 1 attack, go again. And you can only attack if you've attacked with a weapon this turn. Honestly, Raise an Army sounds crazy. Like, you make like 4 of these Centauri Sellswords, and that's like
swing once with the weapon and then
so
drop a blue and swing 9.
Hold on. You actually just sold me off on it. Okay, so Raise an Army is blood on her hands.
Yes, Raise an Army is similar to blood on her hands. It's that you drop it, it's the turn you go super wide.
So,
but the thing is, even though you go super wide, you've left a board full of head jabs. Like, you have a whole board full of head jabs. Yes, you got to run this like weird deck of like, you need your reds and yellows to proc your gold token generation with the new hero power, and you want your blues so that you could swing with a ton of Centauri Sellswords. The deck building seems like it's going to be fun. This definitely seems like a warrior I would enjoy.
I will probably end up playing Kasai. It's going to feel very weird.
A board state hero? You're going to actually play a board state hero?
Cheat on a warrior with a warrior. That feels so dirty.
You've got to get the Marvel though.
Kasai is pretty.
If you're going to play with anything other than your Marvel Dory, you've got to play with the Marvel Kasai.
There's no way I won't get the Marvel Kasai. In fact, I actually think the Fabled's going to be warrior focused. I'm calling it right now.
Why does heavy hitters get Marvel heroes? Where's my Marvel-IO?
I don't want a hybrid Fabled, but I will concede still. I do think that blood on her hands might not be a thing. The thing is that Kasai will always run Spoils of War. There's no chance about it. She doesn't do it. And so I still think blood on her hands is always a possibility.
Everyone else runs Spoils and they don't care about the copper.
But nobody can use the copper.
Yeah.
She can. Kasai's specialization is still Kasai's specialization. The thing is when that Spoils comes out, you have to go, oh, okay. Because if you don't block the copper, what you're saying is somewhere down the road when blood on her hands comes in her hand, she's going to start swinging that weapon. Even with 4 copper, she gives them both go again and +1. Like, good enough for me. Or swing twice and it's still good.
Blood on her hands is strictly less good in Classic Constructed if you think about what it does. It's still like fine, but like it is a lot easier to block than you think it is. You kind of like you just take 3 twice and then you block the next set and then you go.
But how are you gonna block all her army at the same time while she's swinging those swords at you? That's a lot of damage.
That's resource intensive. Let's not forget that like you can't break the chest and swing with the Centauri Sellswords unless they make a chest that says break this to make Centauri Sellswords 1 cheaper.
Do the Centauri Sellswords cost 1 to swing?
Yes, they do. There is, so it's not like you're getting a bunch of free Asvalides or anything.
No, you're not getting dragons.
Okay. You've got. Well, I think it'll all shape up. Plenty of gold generation. She's going to run 3 cash-ins. She can also run Royal. There's been a lot of talk. People saying she doesn't have to run Royal. She doesn't. I still think Royal might be a possibility. Why not? Who knows? Play around with it.
The new set's going to have 6 new heroes. I don't know if that's 6 new adult heroes. It'll definitely be 6 new young heroes because, again, every single set of Flesh and Blood going forward until they change something is going to be limited focus. And we get a new limited format in Heavy Hitters. I am super excited about it. Did you guys hear about it?
It's the EF, right?
Yes.
It's like a death match arena.
Oh, dude.
So you take your pot of 8 and you split them into 2 groups of 4 and they beat the crap out of each other. And then the 2 surviving people go into a death match. Oh, man, it sounds so cool. Like, I don't know if it'll be competitive, but man, it's going to be fun. It almost makes me want to just try it with bright lights. Like, just
did you see the prize for the end of the deathmatch arena? I mean, well, we haven't seen it yet, but they announced that it's going to be the special treatment of Command and Conquer. That's going to be incredible.
Okay, so that's if you played on the hero and got deathmatch points for that hero. Everyone who that kind of incentivizes you is to play a lot, spend money,
Yes.
try to get a win on every hero so you can guarantee that you get a special edition Command and Conquer. So hope you're not a limited hater if you want that special edition Command and Conquer, or just get lucky.
That CNC, that's probably going to be one of the most expensive cards in the game. That's going to be one of the most expensive cards in the game.
It sucks it's going to compete with the CNC Fable.
I don't think, I think it'll be a different thing. There won't be like competition for it. Like people will still want their full art. We'll see. It depends on how pretty it is and stuff. I think it's a great way.
I think it's going to be great.
I think it's a great way to like juice participation, right? Because anyone can get a Command and Conquer. Even if you're like a new player and you think to yourself, oh, if I just play a couple and I win one, I just might get a free $100 card that's actually worth more than $100.
Yeah. So it's going to be so much higher than $100.
Well, I'm just saying like the base copy is like $100.
Prepare your wallet for pain.
We don't know how many they're going to toss out. I mean,
every person who got deathmatch points for the winning hero gets one. That's what they implied. They get one. So that's making you think that like there will be at least 1,000, but it could be more than that if this makes the format popular. If that carrot attracts players to play. And some other. I think this is actually earlier last week that we learned about the armory for December.
Yeah, we're getting a new young hero.
Yeah, Squizzy.
Squizzy and Floof.
Now,
Floof, don't forget Floof.
It's clearly a Santa Claus and Rudolph thing.
For sure.
Why Squizzy? What is a Squizzy?
I don't know.
Maybe it's a New Zealand thing.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I have
no idea.
That's New Zealand type lingo coming at us. But you know what? I looked at Squizzy and I looked at his card and I looked at that hero power and I said I'd play that card. I'd play it all day.
Yeah, he sounds like a great UPF hero because he's. I like how he like can completely juice a couple decks that are like in the Tellurian Community College set. Like, yeah, you throw Ira an extra yellow and she's like, heck yeah, and then it ends up in that stack full of all those Tiger generators, or she's just got like cracked baubles.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about that when we were talking about the skirmishes earlier, but I got juiced by an Ira deck after the skirmish was over.
Yeah. So I was playing Ira, and between Bravant and Melody, with Donnie on Melody, they fed me a whole bunch of cards, and I'm just like
9 cards in Ira's hand.
And then I had the person playing the judge to my right, and he's like, "This round's on me." I'm like, now I can't attack him, and I've got 9 cards in hand. I guess I'm attacking you, Donnie. Sorry. And then it got to the end, and Donnie's at 1, and I have the key, Mauling Key. And that's the one that if you've played a Crouching Tiger this turn and it hits, deal 1 arcane damage to all opposing heroes. And then I attack the judge and say, on hit, kill Donnie. And then he had a handful of non-blocks, and so I killed him and Donnie with a single attack.
That's great.
Yeah.
It was a hilarious moment.
The 5-player felt really good. It might even be better than 4-player.
That's the recommended.
Yeah,
what is for the listeners, what does Squizzy and Floof actually do?
So Squizzy and Floof, I just had it open. Why did I close it?
It says at the start of each opposing hero's turn, they may create a crack bauble in their hand. If they do, you create a gold token.
Okay, yeah. That definitely sounds interesting.
Wait, I forgot about the part where the Squizzy gets a gold token too.
Oh, I would love to play Squizzy, man. That's good stuff.
Okay, now we're talking. That's some gold token generation. You could get like 2 or 3 gold tokens in a single round.
I don't know what Squizzy's doing. I don't know what he's cashing in or what. He's a merchant, right?
Capitalist Santa.
Yeah, capitalist Santa.
I don't know. Definitely super fun on the flavor. I actually read a lot of the Reddit posts about this when they got announced. A lot of people on there chirping about how they were excited about it. A lot more fun for the Armory kit than the last 2 Decembers. So yeah, everything seems to be good. The warm reception.
Was last December the shitty Christmas present?
Yeah, last year was shitty Christmas present. That was the one of the first Armory promos that I got, and I still love that card's name. That is still the funniest TCG card name I've
It's
ever
also got
seen.
one of the
I
best
love it.
combos with Codex of Inertia. So funny. You play to give the full context. You play Shitty Christmas Present, and then your opponent gets a cracked bauble on the top of their deck, and then you play Codex of Inertia, and you force the cracked bauble into their arsenal. And then their arsenal is bricked. And they don't have a way to clear their arsenal. Their arsenal's bricked for the rest of the game.
Ooh. Hope you got a crown.
Yeah.
Be careful about those cracked baubles.
Man, but playing, because Ira did make me want to like actually make a full kitty cat Ira deck for like a serious UPF.
Ira's
pretty fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so they also announced like their plans for Pro Play next year, and well ahead of time they're announcing like the locations of Pro Tours. So we have one Pro Tour in Los Angeles, the one that's already been announced, be on March 21st. And then July 25th, we have Pro Tour Amsterdam. So like a full 8 months ahead of time, we know exactly where the non-United States Pro Tour will be. And that makes it a lot easier to try to plan travel arrangements. And if I do well in Pro Tour Los Angeles, I'm going to just go straight to Amsterdam. That sounds awesome.
You got it.
I mean, keep training it together, man. I mean, I really think you could do it. But it's nice that LSS is giving everybody all this all this lead time going into this stuff. They're really doing a much better job of communicating where everything's going to be. I mean, that is something that the community has been asking for a while, and I love how LSS is always so responsive to the community and what we're asking for. I mean, James White is determined to make this the best competitive TCG on the market, and he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, I think like the Pro Tours and like callings and battle hardens 1 to 2 months lead up. More is better, but you don't really need. You can't go to the calling, you just don't go, right? But Pro Tours and Worlds, that should be like well ahead of time, because sometimes passports can take a long time. These plane tickets are really expensive. Like people who are on the West Coast traveling to Barcelona, Spain, that is a long travel. Like, so the more lead time, the better.
Speaking of callings, in the $1.5 million US prize pool, LSS has decided to up the number of callings to 18 in 2024. We're going to have 18 callings next year.
And 50 battle hardens.
Yeah,
50 battle hardens.
I think they're really trying to, spread it out all over the place. I mean, a handful of them probably going to be in the U.S., but I think there's going to be a lot all over the place. It's big, which is great.
It's a great thing.
And it's a great thing, and hopefully, I don't know if anybody's. Apparently, there's some, like, the Philippines is having a real tough problem with their fab scene or something. I don't know. I don't want to like read too much into it, but there's like
there's a major distributor that has killed other card games before. I remember reading something about that.
And they're really trying hard. So I hope that this calling there was a lot of great responsive posts. In fact, there was a European card supplier that was actually out there for one of the events, and they supposedly were going to get together and try and work something out. So I hope they will. I kind of want to keep an eye on that. But that's really great. It just shows about the Fab community. And I think the extra callings and battle hardens hopefully will.
The extra callings and battle hardens are great for like stoking competition, but they're not great if you're expecting your hero to last long. Yeah, because good heroes are going to LL even faster. I think there's like 4,500-ish points that are going to get injected into the Living Legend system for Classic Constructed.
Yeah, 50 battle hardens times 40 LL points for each battle hardened win. I mean, that's assuming that is Classic Constructed or Blitz. So, I mean, the battle hardens can be several different formats. So,
yeah, that's true.
If it was all CC, that's 2,000 points just in battle hardens. We're talking about an incredible turnover rate that we're looking at next year. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if this isn't dialed back at some point in the first.
And they can do that whenever they want to.
Get rid of all the older, I think, overpowered. I don't want to say over.
Who's overpowered? Uprising. I think Uprising's balanced. It's
what
fine.
I did is I put quotes because I'm saying there's just a bunch of older heroes and cards that they probably want a different, lower tiered power spike design space, and they have to just let them play out.
But Dromai is not in that tier design space, and Icelander is not either. Pie when he had his full card pool was.
Oh yeah.
But Icelander definitely is not. Icelander has way too many ways that she could brick. She could struggle against certain matchups. Some matchups just straight up beat the pants off of her.
Every hero has its weird.
And yet she's the closest to living legend right now.
But she didn't get there.
But she is the closest to living legend right now.
Well, and same argument. You don't need to juice up all the living legend points to make her go away. I think you just need like one more battle hard and one more calling, and she's gone.
She's going to be gone soon. I wouldn't worry. Somebody will take a calling or a battle hard.
RTN's going to knock her out, or the PQ for Amsterdam's going to knock her out.
They're not worried about that. They're gonna have a tough time redesigning their ice and elemental and guardians and stuff down the road. Tales of Aria is not coming out. The 2 isn't coming out for a hot minute. They're gonna need They're gonna need to see how the design space flows and then see how they can stop it. Now we got to interact with it, kind of a thing.
Yes and no. You got to remember that their sets are probably already planned out. The set after heavy hitters is probably mostly planned out.
I would assume.
So they just make educated guesses at what the meta is and how Living Legend's going to affect things. And they're probably pretty close.
I think they do a great job at it, and I understand why they're doing it.
Another thing that changed with the World Championships, I believe, is I think Worlds is the last time that Crown of Providence is the award. It's going to be a new card that we don't even know what it is yet.
It's we know the name. It's Balance of Justice. And it's going to feature a keyword that sits somewhere between Battle Worn and Temper. But that is literally all we know about it at the moment.
Battle Worn is you can block with it as many times as you want, but it gets a -1 counter each time. Temper is you could block with it, but the second it hits 0 defense when the combat chain closes, it breaks. What's in between that?
Something between that is you say that you can continue to block with it for effects like T-Bone and things that pull your equipment, but once it gets to too many negatives, it breaks. That would be my caveat.
Or maybe it says that you can only use this ability if it has 1 or more defense or something.
I mean, just put a limit on how low you can spike.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Sits between Battle Worn and Temper.
Giving us cryptic stuff like that.
Yeah, I already thought Temper was basically what sits between Battle Worn and Blade Break.
That's what I thought. But
but that's what I'm saying. It sits between Battle Worn and Temper. So it has to be, hey, you block with that too many times, it's gone. Like if it hits X amount of, it's gone. Maybe it's a counter-based piece or something, and it says if it has more negative armor points and it has counters on it, it has to be destroyed. I don't know. I'm throwing out whatever I got for you guys because I think it's really sick.
I love new design spaces.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, because I think the crank mechanic was just a perfect keyword to add in with Steam counters. They're great at building up these new design spaces.
Nobody has to be. We're going to talk about it. Nobody should be surprised that clash mechanic is going to be. Let me tell you, most of the clash cards I've seen are not Guardian because they would just instantly win it every time. They're Brute and Warrior.
It's funny is Warrior's going to be notoriously bad at winning clashes
against certain classes.
For now,
but Dory literally can't win it, right? It's based on the attack power.
You're thinking of Dory. And there's cards like Runner. I told you a lot of these warrior decks are probably going to be hybrid attack action decks. The way that they're trying to set this up,
yes.
I really feel like that. Runner is a great example of a stick card that you would run. I'd run Runner. Are you kidding me? It sounds like an amazing card.
Maybe. I'm out on Runner still. It could be good. I think that's the one that's Brute Warrior, so I do want it to be good because I like Brute, but.
Brutes are going to be good.
I just can't wait. I can't wait till Kasai shows up to a classic constructed event. I get to shoot like 6 Centauri Cell Swords with a symbiosis shot. And just.
How much HP do they have?
2.
Can you hit? They have 2. Oh,
yeah.
LSS, you're so good at designing. Come on, man. Give them 3 so that you got to take 2 on it.
2 is nice because that means most players, their decks, their blue attacks can still clear them. So it feels like you could still get overwhelmed by them, but you don't feel oppressed by having to spend.
The way 3s. She can generate gold, and if she starts Royal, trust me, I think it's good.
Would you start Royal?
Oh man, we don't know how the Wombo's coming
they're going to print her a headpiece that makes her not want to be Royal. But then again, she's nobility. She's nobility, so maybe she wants it.
I want a warrior headpiece. Oh, LSS. Thank you so much ahead of time.
I don't know. Maybe since she's nobility, she's like the daughter of a general of Volcor that got like
They got killed. Yeah, that's
Murdered.
what her whole thing is. She wants
murdered
vengeance.
by
And
maybe
there's
the
some
other royal family.
speculation-
Yeah, I don't
There's
know.
some speculation that the father may be Viserai, but we don't know that for sure.
Well, this is all now. You're in territory. I gotta read the books.
So is that what he's looking for? He's looking for his long lost daughter, and he's going and asking a bunch of demons.
Supposedly Viserai was a former. I'm not really 100% on the lore, so don't quote me on this. I very well could be wrong. But my understanding is that Viserai was a former officer or some kind of high-ranking official in the army of Volcor.
Volcor.
So it is possible that there is that connection. So there is speculation, unconfirmed, of course, that there may be that connection between them.
I mean, there's clearly something like going on with Viserai in literally every set. Like he's on this like weird pilgrimage or something.
Yeah, he's not happy being a Runeblade. I mean, he wants to get rid of it. That's what he's on the journey for. Is he's trying to get rid of the Runeblade thing.
Oh
Thanks
my
a lot,
God! We get
Sutcliffe.
Viserai redeemed eventually. Oh wow!
That is something we're looking for. Mhm.
Oh man. Oh, this is all fun stuff. We'll do a lore off one of these days. I'll start reading into the lore and give you guys like some weird bedtime story shorts where we talk about Viserai and the cell swords. It'll be fun.
Back to the tournament though. Yeah. So
All right, let's get right into it.
okay.
Yeah,
So there was
huge tournament.
463 players, and I was talking to some people, and they said they went to the pregame banquet and they got the most surprising fact ever. And that fact was the most dominant hero in the tournament was Icelander. Like she had the most presence.
Hold on. I'm gonna raise my hand here like a student in class. Are we actually that surprised that the majority of players brought the deck that they want to see LL? This is a fab. A fab fad is what I meant to say. My hero's gonna LL, push it through. How many people brought Briar? Two. Lost
hold on.
two.
I think
two
we
Vegas.
talked about.
Push LL on her.
We had a whole
Seriously.
bunch of ranger coping. Would go over to Zelia.
Yeah.
I think we just had a whole bunch of ice coping
Wait a
That's
minute.
exactly
because Yuki definitely ice coped. And
it worked for her.
Oh,
It worked for Yuki.
yes.
But
Yes, it
Azalea
did.
had the highest day 2 conversion out of any hero.
Azalea did have good
Aw.
conversion. Okay, day
You
2
can't
conversion
Count, you can't
is
count Bolton.
is
He's
a
not real.
weird. Why can't you count Bolton? Like if you
Because
can
there was
count
only, like, two
Azalea,
of
why?
them. There was only 2 Boltons.
There were 8, and 6
Okay,
there
were
was
8.
converted.
There was
8
what?
and
How
6
many?
converted.
How many
75%
Azaleas?
conversion rate.
And 60 some odd % of the Azaleas converted. That's massive.
Azalea wasn't even in the top 5. So
On
like
day
you
one.
can kind of
She was.
you can kind of ignore. No, she was not.
Yeah.
In
No.
day 2 she was.
Day
Day two,
2, but I'm saying in day 1. So if we're talking about lowly represented heroes doing well and having a high day 2 conversion rate,
Yes.
conversion rate is most notable for the heroes that have a large presence going into day 2 and not having a large presence, because that also changes a lot of things, right? Because you might have tweaked your deck to be
40,
strong
right?
in day 1, and then your deck is no longer strong in day 2.
I mean, there's at least 30 or 40 Azalea. I mean, very well represented.
There was 39, and
Yeah.
then day 2 there were 25.
But she was not.
That's
It's really good, but she didn't make top 8.
that's.
I think she got slapped around by some 5s.
There's probably a lot of.
There's a
probably
lot of heroes that didn't
going
make
on.
top 8. There were
There
some
were a lot of heroes.
surprising heroes that did
So
make top 8.
there was like an Azalea in 9th, right? And then a
There was a Dory
Rhinar.
up there for a while.
A
too.
Rhinar was in like way
There-
up there too.
Dory was in 9th.
Oh,
There
there's a Dory in 9th.
There was a Dory, but then everybody in chat was like, the thing hadn't updated. They were actually like a 11 and 5 or something at the time. Because I was like, oh my god. I was like, my heart was going. I still want the list because I think the player played fantastic. I mean, it's a rough meta for Dory. Let's be real. We talked about this.
It turned
I
out
think it was a
like
Japanese
Josh
player named
actually,
Shito
Josh
Yuzuki or
Lau
something.
actually mentioned he's like this would have been a much better meta for Dory than Bolton.
I don't know why he played Bolton. I'm gonna be real here.
Because he didn't expect 79 Icelanders.
Nobody did.
Oh,
Nobody
come
expected
on.
79. We talked
No.
about it last week.
No.
Our meta call was that Icelander would have a presence,
40ish.
but not
I was thinking 40 to
dominant deck
50.
of the tournament presence.
But
Yeah.
then it dawned on me that people want ice gone, and so how do
No,
you?
it dawned on me that
It had
people
nothing
want
to do with the fact that we want
They
ice
want
gone.
ice
It
gone.
was-
it's good
That
against
was the fact that-
Dromai and it's good against
How
Bravo.
many people played
It's not.
Briar 'cause
It
they
was
wanted
not that
Briar
great against
gone?
Dromai. Dromai has a favorable matchup
Against
into
Fairy
Icelander.
Red? I think it's fine.
Well,
it's skill based.
that's fair. Now
Dromai is running really
more
red because of Tome.
That's fair. That's true.
Either way,
Didn't think about
predictions
that.
all over the place. Icelander did take it, who I wanted to pick as my dark horse, but we had to throw it in the meta. So I had to
How
pick
would it be
Missouri.
a dark horse is something that you don't
Just wanna go
expect
back
to
and
do
say it.
well that will do
Well, we
well.
didn't expect it to
Oh,
be 79.
and speaking of dark horses, Levia actually did really well. The players had tragic limited runs. So Mansent went like 6-2, I think. In class, I think he went 6-1 and he dropped at some point. So he had a really good run.
4-0 in day one. I know he went 4-0 in Classic Constructed in day one. I don't know what happened to him on day two or how his draft went, but I heard it was pretty bad.
Yeah, he was 6-6 at one point.
Oof.
Yeah, because of the
That's tough.
draft.
Limited
Drafting's hard.
Has a way. It is hard. It's hard, and if you have like a weird game plan that you're doing, and then you realize that somebody it's
Bright
hard.
Lights is a deep set.
It is.
The top 5 day 2 was Icelander, Dromai, Bravo, Dash, and Azalea. So the interesting data point there is that Phi was that 5th place for day 1. Azalea was the 5th place for day 2. So she did do quite well for day 2 conversions.
Yeah, I was not expecting Phi to be the fifth most represented hero. I thought he was going to be a good choice. I thought he was going to be a good choice.
Yeah, that was a solid choice. Like Phi is consistent, and consistent is good in tournaments, whether he is the best choice or not, because consistency is how you win games.
For sure. He's very aggressive. He makes you have to make the decisions. The break points are great. The constant pressure, and as we saw,
and you could sometimes absolutely blow people out.
It's because you draw blue.
Phi does not brick. He does not brick.
Oh,
I mean, maybe one
his bricks are very
100.
light, right? His bricks will be like he'll draw 2 finishers in one hand.
Yeah. There was at least one Phi that never bricked.
You could hedge
had exactly what he needed.
You could hedge your bets on breaking 2 by being really good with how you play Art of Wars. And if you watch the current world champion, his use of Art of Wars are not exactly the ways I would have used them. And I'm just like, man, he did it way better than I would have done it.
The turn where he played out the snatches with the go again Art of War was one of the greatest turns I have ever seen crafted.
That was
the
a sick
dude
turn.
had a handful of enders, and even the casters were like spot on it too. He's like, oh, he's got a handful in, and I'm watching him play out these snatch, and I'm just like, wow. The more I kept thinking, oh my, Shink's coming back, and then Phi would just play the perfect line, and there'd be no disruption, and if there was, I got 2 blues. And it's just like, oh my god, I was like, this. Well, I mean,
he just seemed to have it every single turn. But in order to be a world champion, that's what you need.
So
you have to have it.
Stuff. It's I don't know. Icelander definitely could have had better cards, but never drew them. I mean,
okay, hold on. That finals. Those finals were exhilarating. That Icelander was on the edge of winning.
100%,
so close.
100%. But like I was saying, there was no. And Insidious Chill comes out with that whole turn with the discard over.
I doubt Insidious Chill is even in the deck. It just needed
in the deck.
Just needed one more Channel Lake Frigid to enforce the Phi to brick a single hand. Phi was at 12.
He never bricked, though.
He never bricked. He always had the blues.
2 Arctic Incarceration turns and a CLF that he kept for 2 turns, and he still never bricked. That's what's so crazy to me, is the chances of that happening and not breaking, like, it seems almost astronomical, but it just feels like it was destiny. Like, I don't know, but I liked it.
The top 8 composition.
There you go.
Let's get to the top 8 composition. Was 2 Icelanders, 2 Dashes, 2 Phis, 1 Katsu, and 1 Dromai. So the Ninja was the most represented class.
Why tell you guys about ninjas?
Go figure.
Back to Katsu.
Ninja being the most represented class in top 8 is actually mind-blowing. I would not have guessed that. It's
going to be a ninja meta once Ice goes.
And then if you look at like top 32, the distribution of heroes, other than Bravo like being mysteriously absent, even though being the second most represented, Bravo's got dumpstered. Was great. And also the diversity of the nationalities of people in the top 8. Now, it was a little bit North America focused, but it wasn't just United States. We had 2 representatives from the United States, right? 2 representatives from
Two
Canada,
USA, 2 Canada,
2 Hong Kong, 1 Italy, and 1 Greece. And yeah, Greece took it. So we have a Grecian world champion on Fire Rising Rebellion. That's Alexandros Agrio, who went against. Yeah, I'm not gonna say I got that right. Went against Xing Seng from Hong Kong on Icelander, and
that guy is so amazing to watch.
The entire Pitch Blue team. Watching them play, they're very good.
So good.
Team Blue Pitch.
Blue Pitch.
The card guys' sister team, as they call
it. Pudding Tam was the one on Katsu. So do they just like ninjas? Are they?
I heard a couple of months ago that they were anticipating ninjas to be the meta after Lexi goes, but I don't know. I did not make that call. I mean, clearly I was wrong.
It's gonna be ninjas.
Go Katsu.
Yeah.
Katsu's a good deck.
Yeah, all of
he's a great deck.
All the top 8 matches were great to watch. I wish we could watch all of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, yeah.
I wish they had multi-stream, right? Like you think about like Dota 2.
Right, down the road. The production will increase. They'll have more casters.
Multi-stream.
Multi-stream.
Let's get up.
We can help out.
Where's our Living Legends stream? I wanted to see the Starvo top 8. Oops, all Starvo.
I'll use this. I'm going to use this 1 second. There's a card I should have put it in, like this is a market minute from beyond kind of thing. Starstruck's through the roof. Oh. It's almost $30 right now. No. Like through the roof.
Starvo, man.
Non-foil Starstruck is like 2025. That thing was like 14. Last time we talked about it, it was 10-15. It almost doubled.
So
get your Starstruck.
Guess who won Battle Hardened? The Living Legend Battle Hardened.
The player, right? Not
the
hero.
player.
No surprise.
Yeah. It's no surprise the hero. They were out there. All top 8 was all Starvo. It was Lucas Oswald.
Oh, dude, Lucas is.
That's cool.
Lucas is a hell of a player.
Yeah. So
I don't even know if he was playing back in the original Starvo days. But
I don't know either. But
and I think he beat who did he beat in the finals?
I don't know. I couldn't watch it. It wasn't a stream.
No, I saw who it was.
I'd have to look it up.
I'm going to look it up. You guys keep talking.
The thing about Lucas is he shows up to Battle Hardened Atlanta all the with Icelander, then Lexi, and he's constantly constantly.
And I think Pino Black posted on Twitter that Lucas is a fake friend unless he sells me his Prism statue.
Oh, yeah. Second place at the Battle Hardened Worlds, also on Bravo Star of the show, was Charles Dunn, U.S. National Champion.
No surprise.
Hey, okay. So even though it is Oops All Starvo, it's like the people who are like really, really good are still the ones getting into those final tables.
Dude, that Battle Hardened top 8 was stacked. We had Lucas Oswald in first, Charles Dunn in second, Gordon Coe in third, George Roger in fourth, and then Dennis Zhang, Brian Lorenz, and 2 players whose names I'm not going to try to pronounce because it'll embarrass me. Sorry, guys. Congratulations. Great job. I can't pronounce your names.
There's already people talking about how they might need to do some tweaks to the Living Legend format.
They have to.
Or else it's just going to be...
Starvos in there, dude.
There was 112 Starvos to start the tournament.
No, that's what I was about to ask. Is it a representation of Starvo is what led to it? Like, if you have all the best players on Starvo, is that... Like, is it the chicken or the egg here?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Icelanders, right? 79 Icelanders, the only ones that make it are the 2 that I would have thought would be the ones that make it, right? Outside of like maybe Majin Bay and a couple others. It's 2 of the best Icelander players in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Are 2 of the best players. I mean, Shane's been on Icelander for I don't know how long. He's remarkable at it.
Too bad Michael Hamilton didn't play Icelander. I wonder if he got there with Bravo and said, uh-oh.
Yeah, I would have loved to
It
have been a
would've been
fly
nice.
on the
Man,
wall of his mind when
I
he
would
saw
love to
how
just
many
be
Icelanders are in the
there.
room.
I want to just go. I'm so excited to go to Pro Tour. I can't wait to go there and just get completely manhandled, but still have a great time.
Oh, well, you don't know you're
It
going
would be.
I've
it
seen
would
you
be
play
nice.
the game. I think you're going to be just fine. Dash.io has a
I
way
gotta
of
figure out
surprising
what I'm gonna
people, and
play.
you
I
know
don't
the deck very
necessarily know I'm
well.
gonna play Dash.io. We gotta see.
I mean, the meta's going to be
D-React's hurt.
different by then.
We'll figure it out.
It's going to be a completely different meta by then.
We'll be
I mean,
doing some
Icelander's
play
going to be
testing.
gone. Phi may be gone. I mean, it's
At
going to
this
be.
rate.
But Dash.io's not getting new cards. she can only play Mechanologist cards unless they print something better than Tome of Findle, which they might. You never know.
We are getting an expansion slot in heavy hitters, so maybe.
Yep.
Maybe we get
I
something
think
good from it.
Tekla needs more help than Dash.io does.
Yeah.
There was a
Tekla
there was like a
help.
3-0 Tekla Vossen on stream though. Oh
Yeah.
man, dude, watching Matthew McKennis play against that Tekla Vossen was so painful. When he warhorned his only induction chamber, and you're just like, oh no, Tekla's gonna fatigue him, and he did. Yeah, that was a tragic round to watch.
Yeah, I had to go back and rewatch all of the classic constructed rounds because I got finished with my review of the World Championships written
Wait,
up and
you
everything.
didn't wake up at 3 a.m. to watch them live? What kind of armchair quarterback are you?
I'm the kind that has to get up for work, sir.
I was still awake,
No.
so I was watching it when it was starting, and then I was watching it throughout the day.
I was
after
dumb.
slept.
I kept trying to stay up to watch it, and then I'd fall asleep at like 2:30, so I didn't even get to the start.
I did go back and watch the beginning of them, but it was it was definitely an interesting game watching that Tekla Vossen go through it. But I was not expecting to see Tekla Daddy at 3-0.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising. But I mean, you could play bad decks with good math and good play patterns, and you can do really well. Like we saw an Arachne who did really well in a calling, right? The one that like made that Dromai flip out.
I think that was Battle-Hardened Toulouse.
Yeah, deck is clearly terrible. Arachne is a bad hero. Like he's just terrible.
Don't tell me that. I just built it. I just built
No,
it.
Azuri is
Hating
fine.
on Arachne.
Azuri is fine. She actually has a specialization, and it's good.
I can't
I've
wait
God,
for
shake
Arachne.
down.
I've got Arachne built.
Oh, I
I
thought you had
can't
Azuri
wait.
built.
And Azuri.
It's a real deck, Donnie. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If Arachne can beat a Dromai, you can beat anything. Let's be real here. That's it.
If
That's
you can
it.
get lucky and beat Dromai,
Yeah,
you can
just-
get lucky and beat
Just keep
anything
rolling
else.
those critical hits.
All you have
Yeah.
to do is make sure you rip the Tommel ties off, and you're good.
The World
Send those
Championship
dragons out.
was an incredible event to watch from start to finish. I mean, I wish I could have been there. I wish I could have gone to Barcelona and been a part of it. But just getting to watch it and staying on the edge of my seat through all of the final games of the tournament, dude,
So-
that was awesome.
I would
Oh,
like to
man.
say that we're about to go into like a little bit of a tone down for Flesh and Blood, and
Yeah, it's the off
you can
season.
relax. But I might end up going to Realm Rumble.
Yeah, Realm Rumble's just in a couple of weeks, right?
2 weeks. And
Where is Realm Rumble? Where?
Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, whoa! Isn't that what 10 hours?
Yeah, I'm talking to some of the card guys and seeing if any of them are road tripping. I might road trip with them, but I was just like, okay, time to chill out on Flesh and Blood for a few weeks, and then like, also I could go to Realm Rumble. Like,
Go, definitely go. I mean, the way it's been advertised and the way you hear the guys over on Flesh and Pod talking about it every week, it is the event to go to. If you couldn't get to Worlds because of passport issues or whatever other excuse that you weren't able to go, the Realm Rumble in Columbus, Ohio looks like an event that is going to be
When?
falling plus.
and
It's
go
gonna be great.
because like the things that make card games really work are third-party events as well.
Yes.
So if
Oh,
Realm
100%.
Rumble is really successful and they keep doing more, I know that I'm going to push to have a Realm Invitational here in the Southeast this year. I can guarantee it will happen. It's not like questionable. If I have to pay the $575 for the prize pool myself,
well-
I will make it happen.
I would 100% chip in, and I'm sure others would as well. There's
Yeah.
absolutely no way the community wouldn't come in to make a prize pool and a worthy.
I think it's
showing.
tragic that the
Absolutely no way.
Southeast didn't have one. Like, so
There's a lot of great
It's
players.
going to
down
happen
here.
this year. We'll have a Realm Invitational, and you could pick up invites to the bigger Realm events at this Realm Rumble too. So there are some invitational qualifiers. It's the first weekend of December. So I think December 2nd is the first technical day of it. And it's just a show up, there's tournaments for all different card games. It's not just Flesh and Blood focus. They have like on-demand draft the whole time. So it's not like scheduled how LSS does their thing. You literally just walk up with 8 people and say, we're ready to go. And they have prize payout and you just do your draft.
It sounds like a really good way to get people in, play some card games, and get them going and win some money.
Yeah, third-party events though. Telling you, that's how you make games last forever. When people start coming together as a community to make their own fun.
Yep, that's when you know you've made it as a TCG.
Oh man, I gotta figure it out though. God, we gotta get back into the tank and work on the deck building.
Yeah, and you gotta bring Katsu this Friday when we play, because don't sell them out yet.
Are you a Katsu main? Are you playing Katsu, Noah?
I'll play Katsu on Friday. That's fine.
I think you should practice Azuri.
I don't know if I'll make it to Friday, guys. I mean, like I said, as of today, class officially started, and I am going for a degree in digital marketing. I am officially a college student at 36. It's going to be, thank you. It's going to eat up a lot of my time, and I don't know if I'll be able to make it to both of my armories every week. And if I have to give up one, I'm going on Tuesday night.
Speaking of Tuesday night, that's tomorrow night for us. That'll be yesterday or so when this comes out. I probably will show up Tuesday, and if I am going to go, you're welcome to come with me. I'll come grab you.
Yeah, just let me know. I don't think I'm doing anything tomorrow. I actually thought it'd be cool to go play if we could play on Tuesday because it's a holiday week. So.
Yep, I have no class. I'm a teacher, so no class on the holiday week. But I think that's a wrap for us.
Dory.
Yeah, that should be about it for this week.
We've covered everything
we want to hit.
So,
I ain't got nothing else.
I don't think there's anything else unless we want to talk about the spoilers. But I guess we can wait for them to come out a little bit, or I guess everybody's seen the spoilers. But
I mean, we can read through all the spoilers. We went through a lot of the spoilers at the start of the episode. But if we wanted to read through some of them, like next week when we might have some more,
let's pack them in together.
I know at least one creator is going to be spoiling something on the 24th.
I think that's a good idea. It's a good way, again, to revisit it, talk a little about it, talk about the meta, talk about what to expect. I think it's a good way.
But TCG Talk said that he has got one of the first spoilers, one of the first community spoilers for heavy hitters coming out, and I believe his teaser said is going to be on the 24th. So
which is 4 days from recording. It'll be like a day or two from when this releases.
All right. Well, just so you're aware, Donnie, I don't have the new shortened one that you got, so I'm going to take us out the old school way, if that's okay with you.
Well, first things first, where can everybody find you, Noah?
Oh, well, you can find me on Twitter at BigMaxFab, and on twitch.tv/LutsoHeavy, even though I haven't been streaming on there. We will get the YouTube thing up and running. I've been talking with the guy that did our intro, and I'm going to work on some stills and stuff. We just have to get it. I'll just... one way or another, somebody will be on the stream. I have a really creative, cool idea that I want to do it so that whoever's streaming has like an indicator so you know who's streaming based on what hero shows up on the stream. I think that would be kind of funny. So I'm working on it. You'll see. I've got some really sick ideas for it. It's going to cost me a lot of money. It's going to be a lot of time, but it's going to be worth it. But that's where you can find me.
I'm at WetTheSystemFab on Twitter, and you could just find me as WetTheSystem all over the Discord space.
Yeah, and same stuff, different week for me. I am at Draco Hominis, just about every social media that you can find me on. If you want to read what I write for Fabric.gg. I do several different series. The latest one that is probably coming out on Wednesday, most likely around the same time that we drop this video live, is going to be my review of the World Championship. Definitely go give that a read. But that's all I got.
Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. We hope you enjoyed catching up with us this week, and if you did, we need your help. The best way you'll help us is to leave a like and a comment. It makes a huge difference to channels like ours when you engage with what you see. If you don't want to miss out on future casts, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube so you know exactly when to find us again. Until then, take care, and remember, we're all siblings in cardboard.
Thanks to our
Discard
patrons.
your cards. And
Thanks to our
thank you
patrons.
to our
There's a couple.
as well.
There's a couple of you out there. And yeah, discard your cards.
Please discard your cards.